The coronavirus is forcing experts to rethink the design of all kinds of public spaces, including the most private of those spaces. Richard Schlesinger takes us behind closed doors.
It is certainly not the sort of thing one mentions in polite company. So forgive us for mentioning public restrooms. But COVID is changing them, and you are bound to notice before too long.
The state of the American restroom, well, it's evolving.
Catherine Anthony is the vice president of the American Restroom Association. And yes, you heard that right.
You do what you need to do and you come out.
She's an architecture professor who thinks a lot about American restrooms.
There's a great room for improvement, and in this era of COVID, it's more and more important that we all have clean, safe restrooms to go to.
Right now, the American Restroom Association believes there are too many surfaces to touch and too little privacy in the privy.
These days with COVID, you just don't want things spreading from one place to another.
You don't have to be Dr. Fauci to see that the current design of the American restroom with all that open space does very little to control the spread of COVID. Today's bathroom stalls usually have partitions that conceal only the bare minimum. The idea of partitions that leave open space goes back at least to Frank Lloyd Wright, who championed it in this building in Buffalo, among others. He thought these restrooms would be easy to clean. At Bradley International Airport in Connecticut, the new bathrooms are private and touchless and even feature a light outside the stall to tell you if it's being used. Kevin Dillon runs the airport.
They're known as tush lights, so when you do enter the stall, it will activate the system and it will put a red light over that stall so that someone coming into the bathroom knows that it's occupied.
And these new bathrooms aren't just more private, they might well be much safer. Scientists have been studying what happens when a toilet is, flushed. This animation from the journal Physics of Fluids illustrates what is called the plume.
Well, I think that you want to make sure that microbes aren't escaping the toilet when you flush it.
Jim Walsh is the vice president of product marketing at the American Standard Company, where they're racing to figure out how to eliminate the plume. So what do you do to combat that?
It's all about the velocity, angles, and design of the toilet that's receiving it that limits the splash.
The Plume project is a work in progress, but for now, businesses are doing what they can to make restrooms safer. This movie theater in South Haven, Mississippi uses police tape to block off every other urinal so men can be socially distant. But bigger businesses need bigger plans.
So obviously this is our core business, but everyone that comes here uses the bathroom.
Jeffrey Hamilton runs the Mohegan Sun Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut. Before he could allow gamblers back in, he knew he couldn't have people taking a chance in here.
You think about a bathroom, you can't control who stands next to you. That's out of your control. So what you do is you prevent someone from standing next to you.
Every other urinal is blocked off here, too, and the restrooms are cleaned frequently by attendants who have also been trained to gently scold patrons who might try to leave without washing their hands. How do people shame people into washing their hands?
Just a reminder, right? So you're in the bathroom, you walk out like, hey, don't forget to wash your hands.
It's like my mother used to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you 100% of the time, people turn around.
I mean, it's fun to joke about this stuff, but I gather talking to you that, this is something that you consider important for your business.
You need to create an environment in a business where people feel safe.
The rush to convert restrooms has been good for business at the American Standard Company.
Oh, there, look at that.
They're developing all sorts of new touchless devices.
It incorporates the flush touchless here, and it washes it and scours the inside of the urinal itself.
They're looking at new, deeper sinks to control splashing, and they're putting antimicrobial substances in their sinks and toilets. And Vice President James Walsh sees a brighter future for bathrooms.
Will they be nicer than the bathrooms of today?
I think they will.
There is nothing simple about battling a pandemic that spreads so easily. So it is probably inevitable that as COVID becomes a fixture of daily life, it will change the fixtures of daily life.